Panthers have new life, huh? Panthers fans are coming out of the woodwork. Some might even be buying jerseys again, thinking players might be around for the long haul. There's a saying in sports, keep the main thing the main thing. Now, what that means traditionally is, right, don't worry about media, don't worry about what everyone's saying around campus, don't worry, keep the main thing, right? Try to win, try to do the things that you need to get better as a player, get better as a team.
Don't beat yourself.
Don't beat yourself. Keep the main thing the main thing. Well, guess what the main thing is for the Panthers?
What's that?
And it has not changed despite their uptick in play over the last month and a half. It's the future. It's the future. This game this weekend, winnable. Dallas Cowboys, not scary. Winnable game. But the criteria of which this Panthers season will be judged, it doesn't change. The measure of success doesn't change. Dallas is not very good. I'm still looking for steps forward from young guys. There is a world, and I this is going to sound ridiculous, but stick with me. There is a world where Carolina might be able to win this game with an element of smoke and mirrors. Right? If they get a lead early, take advantage of a Cooper Rush turnover or two, and then they take the air out of the ball. They stop trying to advance. They stop trying to take any risk whatsoever. Play the field position game, right? 3 and punt, and just bleed the clock dry. If you do that and you win the game and you're in a playoff race, great. The Rams last night, ugly, hideous, 4 field goals, won the game. Reigning, playoff race, they're stoked. I don't want that. I still need them to let Bryce have opportunities to sink or swim. You get a 2-score lead, I want Bryce to think it's not a success unless you win by 4 scores. You need Bryce Young to get better. You need Ike Ekwonu to get better. This may sound crazy, but a few times, not every time, a few times, I want Ike Ekwonu one-on-one with Micah Parsons.
Oh.
Now, a lot of the time, I want to give him help. I want to give him a running back chip. I want to give him a tight end on his side. I want to give him help. But occasionally, you have to see if the guy is ready to be elite or not.
That almost reminds me of his very first start in the NFL going up against Myles Garrett. It almost would be like a redemption game for Ike Ekwonu.
He better not be the same he was then. Right? This is what, year 3? And you're more than halfway through it? I need to let these young guys have opportunities to get better. And that doesn't happen if you are hiding them. When you're trying to win, you do try to hide your young guys. You do. Right? You don't put the wide receiver out there to run sight adjustment routes with a veteran quarterback. You put the rookie wide receiver out there to run a very simple, basic route that he's run 1,000 times because that's what you can trust him to do. The Panthers are still in a lost season. They're still not going to win the Super Bowl. It is still about the future. Bryce Young has been better. Brad Idzik, their offensive coordinator, who is one of the best friends of Dave Canales, was asked if these last few weeks reminded him of Alabama Bryce.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it all offseason as well. Like, it's just coming together with the pieces that are around him. Like, he's just playing fast, and I've said it the last couple of weeks, like, the confidence has come through him getting through his reads, him being confident with the throws, guys being in certain spots, but then also knowing when, okay, I got through my progression, let me tuck it down and run. That part's been so much fun to watch. Some of the off-schedule play that he had last week was a lot of fun to watch. And, our guys, it's cool because you get to hold everybody accountable, and the straining together was a big point of emphasis.
Here's what I'm trying to get at here. Just like the past 3 games, they've been losses, right? They lost those 3 games, but almost unanimously, we've come in here on Mondays with positive expectation, or positive reactions would be the better way to say that. I'm glad Bryce had the opportunity to make those drives at the end of the game, staring the Eagles, staring the Chiefs, staring the Bucks in the face, and he played well. I'm glad that until he got hurt, Jonathon Brooks was getting the opportunity to get his feet wet in the NFL. Injuries happen, nothing you can do about it. Just like there have been losses that we've been overwhelmingly positive about, there could be a win this weekend that we're negative about. I've won a game as a college quarterback, which is not the same as the NFL, but hey, I'm going to equate it to boost my ego on a Friday. I've won games where I've thrown for like 70 yards. I don't walk away from that game jacked up about my development as a quarterback. I walk out of that game happy we won. Don't get me wrong. Team first, team always, team only. But I'm more impressed with our offensive line and running game and defense in those situations. Bryce, no, not that. Not in a lost season. I still need Xavier Legette to have chances to make plays. He dropped a game-winning, might have been a touchdown if he rolled in untouched, a game-winning pass. He dropped it last week. If you were in a playoff race, you might go, all right, let's not go to him as much. Let's let him figure it out. Throw him the ball.
He even said today or yesterday after practice in the post game or in the locker room that he's not asking for forgiveness for anybody or for anybody to feel sorry for him.
I'm not offering forgiveness. I'm offering him the chance to be better. I'm offering him the chance to get 8 targets. All right, this defense is not a bad defense for Dallas. Their offense, especially without Dak Prescott, some of the other injuries they're dealing with, at times it's bad offense. Their defense is not bad. Matter of fact, Bryce Young pretty much said as much.
We have a ton of respect for them. A lot of really good players. They play well. Just from watching the film, it's a good group of guys. Obviously, I spent my time watching the defense, and it's a good group of players. They play really well. They play hard. So, again, for us, we know it's going to take everything for us to have the success we want to have. It's going to take, team football, so we have to be at our best on Sunday.
Challenge them. Challenge them. Another way to put it, Trayvon Diggs, very good corner, right? There are times in games where you need to win at all costs that you might just not attack him. But then you don't know if the receiver can beat him. You don't know if Bryce Young can know the difference between a ball that he should throw against an elite corner and a ball that he cannot throw against an elite corner. Challenge him. This game is winnable. It doesn't change the measure of success. Do you want to win? Sure. I mean, I think there's a lot of fans out there that would rather continue to have a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. But win, lose, or draw, the Panthers are eye test winners or losers from this point forward. What it looked like. Ugly wins really don't help. If you want to win pretty, we can right. If Bryce Young wants to have his first, 21 of 28 for 315 and 3 touchdown game, I'll put up with the draft pick getting worse. But I don't want the coach to hide him. I don't want anyone hidden. Ike Ekwonu's going to have to be on an island with a good edge rusher. Xavier Legette's going to have to catch a pass that you think he might have dropped based on last week. If Jalen Coker's playing, throw him right into the deep end. Don't ease him back in as long as he's 100% healthy. Like, part of me wants to say this. If you win the game and Bryce throws for a bunch of yards, but they're all to Adam Thielen, how much does that help you next year? And Adam Thielen might be back as a 35-year-old. How much does it help you 2 years from now when hopefully you're contending for Super Bowls? Right? It's a different beast. So, and I think everybody got it going into the Chiefs game, going into the Eagles game. Everybody was kind of aware, like, hey, this game, a loss might not be the worst thing in the world, but here's some other things that can build positivity. It's true, right? Like, it was almost like you wrote off the win until it was close, but the fan base was able to write off the win and instead focus on the things that they wanted to see, like the eye test stuff. Do the same thing, right? Don't just because it's a worse team, still set the expectation that the eye test is there. Don't win on like technicalities. The player of the game should not be the punter.
Or Eddie Pinheiro.
Or Eddie Pinheiro. That would be the kicker.